3, 2, 1, go! Welcome back, Sandwich Nation. Hope you're having a great day. And if you're not, then I hope this video will brighten up your day. Right. So this is the first video on my channel that is football related. And just keep in mind, later in the future, I might make a channel purely dedicated to football content. This is still going to be my Minecraft or gaming channel. But now that we have that stuff out of the way, let's get into the video. This is the first installment of my series where I'm going to be predicting the records of every team in order of toughest division and best team in the division, starting with the NFC. The first and toughest division, in my opinion, is the Nfc South, and the best team in the division, in my opinion, is the Saints. Some people would say the best is the Buccaneers, and I don't blame them. They have the amount of amazing players that they have. Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski. They got what's his name? Mike Evans, Goodwin. What's his name? Forgot. But just on offense, that's already set them to win the Super Bowl. But I'm not quite sold on them yet. So I still think the Saints are the best team in the division. But anyway, the Saints start Week 1 against the Buccaneers, and I think that the Saints are gonna keep in mind they're at home this game. I think they're gonna come out, start the season off. I think the Saints are gonna start the season off with a win. And the reason I think they're gonna win this is because of just the matchups that they have. Think about it. The Buccaneers secondary, it's not that good. You got a couple. Their defensive backs, they're young and they have a lot of potential. They have a really high ceiling, but right now I'm just not quite sold on them being able to shut down Michael Thomas, Jared Cook, and any of the other ones that they have. All right. And on offense, like they have multiple good players, like Mike Evans versus Marshawn Lattimore. That's who I think they're going to line him up against. I think that it's anyone's game at that point, but like I think Marshawn Lattimore is going to win that battle more. And then on the other side, Goodwin, whatever his name is, he could be facing Marcus Cousins. I think that's the free safety's name. But I remember that I know he's good, and he's like, I think it's going to be a tough battle between the Saints secondary and the Buccaneers passing game. And don't forget about Robert Gronkowski. You can't count him out. Even though he's a tight end, they aren't normally known for going deep downfield. Robert Gronkowski is still an amazing player. I know he didn't play last year, so that might also affect it, but I think he's still going to be good. All right, and now Week 2 against the Raiders. And Saints are the away team. The Raiders are at home. I think that I think that the Saints are going to come home. Wait, not the Raiders. Is this website? There we go. I think the Saints are going to come away with the win in Week 2 as well. My main reason is because of the wide receivers versus the Saints secondary. Like I know, Tyrell Williams is good, and like they just drafted Henry Ruggs, but Henry Ruggs is a rookie, and like versus the Saints secondary, I don't think they're going to be able to do that well. Hunter Renfro's there; he's definitely going to be a factor. Darren Waller's definitely going to be a factor, but I just don't think that that's going to be enough to beat out the Saints secondary or any of the Saints defense, honestly. Now, Josh Jacobs, they have Josh Jacobs. They got him. He'll probably have a pretty good game against the Saints, but the Saints do have a good run and defense as well, so keep that in mind. And the Saints offense is just way better than the Raiders defense. That's all I have to say there. Now, Packers versus Saints. The Saints are the home team. I think the Saints win that one as well. One of the reasons, Aaron Rodgers Aaron Rodgers and the coach, they're not having right now. Things are a little tense with the trading up to get Jordan Love stuff, and it's not all that good. And all right, they're one good, and the Packers have a good wide receiver in Adams, but that's one of their only offensive weapons besides Aaron Jones. Saints have a good running defense, and the Saints have a good passing defense. Like, I'm not really sure there's anything the Packers are going to be able to do there on offense. Aaron Rodgers, if he decides that he's going to behave himself and not behave himself, that's aggressive, but um, put forth his maximum effort for the coach, I think that they could put up a good run. It could be a close game, but I just don't think that it, it's they're not Packers just aren't going to win. Saints offense is going to be too much for the Packers to keep up with defensively as well. So I don't know. Now, week 4 against the Lions. The Saints are the away team. The Lions are the home team. And I think, ready, my really bold decision. I think the Saints come out here with another win. So 4-0. That's pretty good. But against the Lions, they're the Lions. I think the Lions could have a chance to have a pretty dang good season. Like, they have Matthew Stafford. I think he would have done really well if he didn't get injured. They have Kenny Galladay. He's doing good. They have, what's their other dude? Jones something. They have him. They have Kerryon Johnson. If he stays healthy, he could be a big factor for them. But the Saints, I just think they're a better team all around. Now, week 5 against the Chargers, Saints are the home team. I have the Saints winning this one. So Saints starting season 5-0. The reason I think this is because the Chargers, they're starting with a new quarterback. I think it's Justin Herbert. So he's a good quarterback, but he's gonna I think he's gonna do pretty well, but it's gonna take him a couple weeks to get adjusted, I think. And with the Saints defense against a rookie quarterback and a running back, they lost. Their running back spot is just not as good as it was, and I just the Saints defense is going to outplay the Chargers offense, and the Saints offense is going to outplay the Chargers defense. That's what I think is going to happen. Well, the Chargers do have a pretty dang good defense. I still think that Saints offense is going to be good enough, and I think that the defense is going to stop the Chargers more, and I think the Saints are going to squeeze out the victory there. Week 6 going into the bye, or this is the bye. They're undefeated, feeling pretty good. And after that is week 7 against the Panthers. Saints are at home. Saints win it. Mainly because I just don't think that the Panthers have enough. Yeah, they have Christian McCaffrey, but their starting quarterback is Will Grier, I believe. No, it's not. It's Teddy Bridgewater. My bad. But yeah, that's who it is. Teddy Bridgewater did good. As a backup for the Saints, he was a pretty good player, but I'm not quite sure Teddy Bridgewater is going to be able to be that X factor for them in his first season. All right. Now, week 8 against the Bears, I have the Saints winning this one too. I'm also assuming, because I'm not quite sure what they're going to do here. I actually had the Bears. I think the Bears are going to do pretty okay, but if they still have Nick Foles starting, I think Nick Foles could have. The Bears have a good enough team. They have a really good defense. Their wide receivers they have one pretty good wide receiver and one pretty average, a little above average wide receiver, but that's just not good enough to beat the Saints defense. And it's just And but on defense, amazing. They got Khalil Mack, they got Jackson, they got Fuller. Actually, wait, no. Yeah, they do. I think that's his name. It's probably not. It might be though. But but left outside, free safety, and corner. Those are pretty important pieces of the defense, and they're all amazing players there. And I just don't think the Bears have the weapons to outplay the Saints defense. Right now, Week 9 against the Buccaneers. This time, the Buccaneers are the home team, and I think it's going to be a pretty close game, honestly. But I think the Buccaneers do come out with the win here, just because of the home team advantage. I think other than that, other than the home team advantage, I think the Saints would win this. But I honestly think Week 1 is going to be a pretty close game. But just the home team advantage, the Buccaneers are probably going to be hitting their stride. They're going to be starting to pick up the pace a little. I think the Buccaneers come out with that one. Now, Week 10 against the 49ers. Personally, I'm not quite sure if the 49ers are going to be able to produce and be quite as good as they were last year. But so that's why I have the Saints coming on top with this game. All right, and first, the wide receiver core for the 49ers, it's pretty good, but they did lose Emmanuel Sanders. I think he was a pretty important piece for them. They lost one of their starting halfbacks. That's not good. Their defense is pretty good. They did lose DeForest Buckner though, and because of that, I think Alvin Kamara is going to be able to have a good running game there. Um, the corners and free safety and linebackers, they're pretty good. So I think the Saints might have a tad bit of trouble there with them, but still, I think that even if the 49ers do really well against the Saints offense, I think the Saints defense is going to be able to take care of the 49ers offense. So, yeah. And then you got week 11 against the Falcons. The Saints are at home. The Saints win it. Right. I have the Saints winning this because it's a home game, and the Saints are a pretty good team. The Falcons, they have a bunch of good players, very talented, very very underrated team in my opinion. But I do think the Saints are just barely gonna squeeze out of this one. I think this game could go either way, but I have the Saints winning. Then week 12 against the Broncos, I also have the Saints winning this one because I think the Saints overall just are a much more complete and better team than the Broncos. You can call me crazy, but I just think they are. I don't know why you would call me crazy. I think most people would agree with that, but yeah. Now, week 13 against the Falcons are the home team. I have the Falcons winning this game. The reason I have the Falcons winning it is because I think the Falcons are very good. With Julio Jones, I think their tight end's going to do well for them. Gurley is still a bit iffy, but I think he's going to be able to do well. And the Falcons defense, if they can find a way to gel, I think they can do well. And I think the Falcons are going to have a pretty good season. When I get to the Falcons, I will tell you why, but I just think the Falcons are going to do pretty well. And I think the Falcons offense is going to play better than the Saints defense, and vice versa for the offense and defense for the Saints. All right, the week 14 against Saints versus the Eagles. I actually have the Eagles coming out on top here because late in the season, Eagles got to make a last push for the playoffs again because Cowboys are a tough team in their division for them, and I just think with that in their minds, with just the pure want to beat out the Cowboys, I think that they're gonna take the win there. All right, week 15 against the Chiefs. Saints are at home. I think the Saints win it. reason I think the Saints are gonna win it here is because what? Why do I think this? What? Why do you think this? I'm a teacher. I think because I think they're just gonna outplay. Like, oh, that's why I read it wrong. Wait, no, no, I'm confused already. But I do have the Saints coming out here with the win. I think that Patrick Mahomes is an incredible person, one of the most talented people in the league, and one of the most talented players at quarterback of all time for what he's produced so far. But like I do think that just it's going to be a really close game. It's going to be a shootout. Neither of the defenses are going to do too well, but I do think the Saints are going to have that one more score than them. No, week 16. Wait, why are there 18 weeks? Have I done? Why is that there? Oh, it's a playoffs. Oh, that's weird. But week 16, Saints against the Vikings. I have the Saints winning that one. I think the Saints are overall a more talented team than them. I think they're a better team, and I just Vikings. They lost Stephon Diggs, which is a very good wide receiver. I don't think without him, I think their offense is going to take a pretty big step back. I think that the Saints defense is going to outplay the Vikings offense and vice versa. Week 17 against the Panthers. The Panthers are the home team. I have the Saints winning the away game against the Panthers because I just think that the Saints are just a better team overall. The Saints are one of the best teams in the league. The Panthers, they've lost a lot, so lost multiple big pieces of their team last year. So I think the Saints are gonna beat them as the away team. All right, and that brings the Saints' final record to 13-3, and that's it. So if you think that I'm wrong, if you think that I'm crazy, then tell me in the comment section. If you think that they should have beaten another team and they should have had a different record, then tell me in the comment section. But for now, this is me signing off. Goodbye, Sandwich Nation.